hey guys, it's Alexia here from That Girl with a Purpose, and today I'm super excited. I have Dana here, and she's from Heroic Humans, and she's going to tell us about her movement and kind of what inspired her to start Heroic Humans and where it's going. So thanks for being here today.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Awesome.
So excited to be here.
I know. It's crazy how we connected too. Like, I literally found your page, and I was looking through her page on Instagram, and I said, I have to interview her because she resonates with this message so much, and I love what she's up to. It's so inspiring, and I had to have you here, so I'm glad you could do that.
And you know what, it's so funny because a dream of mine has always been like, oh, I want to be one of those things that people just hear about through word of mouth. And then when you told me that, I was like, my dream's coming true. So I'm so happy to be here. Yeah.
All right, so first question is, how did you start your movement, and what inspired you to start Heroic Humans?
Yeah, okay, so crazy actually. I love telling this story because I work at Lululemon part-time. And Heroic Humans is kind of like my side gig right now. But I was in the middle of a Lululemon meeting with some of my managers, and we were doing this like goal coaching, vision coaching type thing, which we do quite frequently, just to kind of like make sure you're on the right track of what you want to be doing in your personal life, in your professional life, in your goals, etc. And one of my managers handed out all these journals, and she gave us a series of questions. And the questions were, one of them was, who are you here to be? And the second one was, what's one characteristic that you uniquely can bring to this world? So like, so insane. Who knows how to answer those? Yeah, like,
wow.
Who knows how to answer those?
Yeah.
And for the one characteristic one, I didn't even have anything written down. And the here to be one, they came around to me and they said, okay, Dana, it's your turn to share. And I said, wow, guys, well, I guess I want to be a good daughter. I want to be a good friend. I want to be a good sister, partner to somebody one day, employee, and I want to be a heroic human. I want to show up for someone every single day of my life. And everyone was like, oh, okay, wow, thanks for sharing. And I guess we'll move on.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I went home, and it actually wasn't until that night, I was actually having a glass of wine with my mom. And I said this thing today, and I can't stop thinking about it, and I have to tell you about it. So I started telling her about Heroic Humans, and I bought the domain and all the etc. that night, actually.
Wow.
And it kind of went from there, yeah.
Wow.
So that's how the idea, the fruition, it all kind of came to me, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That it was literally just a thought, but then you actually acted upon it.
Yes. Well, it was so crazy because I was like, it was like a word, one of those word vomit things where it just kind of comes out.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, what did I say back there? I like that. That felt good. Yes, that's how the whole thing kind of started. And I thought, if I want to wake up every single day and be a heroic human and show up for other people, how can I get other people to want to do that? And how can I get other people to want to have the same mentality and effect on the world as I do? So I thought creating a social impact movement, community-based, because I thought who's listening to me and who's supporting me? My friends, my family, my coworkers, like-minded people. And to start there, to get people into the culture and philosophy and mindset that I'm trying to create with Heroic Humans. Yeah.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love the name itself, though. Like, even though you thought of it on the spot, like, it stands out. Like, it's one of those names when you hear Heroic Humans, like, something automatically pops to your mind, right? Like, either you think of a heroic human or, like, you know, you have an idea of what that looks like. So what is a heroic human to you?
So I love when people ask this, too, because some people have such a hard time wrapping their head around what a heroic human is, because you think that it's this character, this person that pulls people out of fires, or this like Superman or something crazy. Yeah. But it's really just an everyday person waking up every day, showing up for someone in their life, being passionate, you know, living what I'm calling living heroically. But I mean, what I say is, if there's your favorite barista you want to acknowledge, if there's a booming entrepreneur, cancer survivor, an amazing mother, father, whatever it is, like it's a place to be able to acknowledge people for the things that they bring to the world, and to create a space where all of those things are just accepted and acknowledged. Some of them are so basic, and some of them could be these incredible gestures, but some of it is just human beings doing what they love to do and loving the people around them and making a difference in their lives.
Yeah.
Right?
I love it. I actually love it. And it's so awesome how it's different for everybody, right? Like you said, everybody has a different idea or story of what a heroic human is. So what have you noticed about some of the stories shared? Like, What's it been like to just share these stories and have people like feel inspired? Have you gotten amazing comments from this and people who are just uplifted?
Yeah, and you know what, I always say that if like, you know, somehow social media like died tomorrow or the world ended, I would feel so fulfilled for how far Heroic Humans has got so far, and all the support that I've received. It's been insane. There's nothing better than having your absolute dream and passion being well reciprocated from your community and the people around you. And it feels so good to have the support and to have people actually latch on to what you're doing and have it resonate with them. Yeah, so it's really cool, really nice to see. Initially, there's this thing that actually with Lululemon that we call a BHAG, which is a big, hairy, audacious goal. Sounds crazy, but it's kind of like when your wildest dreams type of goal. Yeah. And my BHAG for Heroic Humans was to have these huge conferences with like hundreds of people there, coming together. You know, if you're down that day, if you don't like your job, if you're in a bad relationship, if you don't want to leave the house, like if you're in a mindset where you don't feel inspired and you don't feel powerful, I want that person to say, I need to go to Heroic Humans workshop because I need to leave a room feeling inspired, feeling empowered, and all those things. So I said, I want to create that type of space, and I want to have any conversation available, and people from all different walks of life come together, and for one reason, to talk about our humanity and to talk about what makes us the same and what makes us different.
Yeah.
So that's the BHAG of mine, this big goal that I have, but I thought obviously I have to start somewhere. So to start with my community, I wanted to do one in different local cities and towns. So the first one was in Newmarket. And initially I had in mind to do a few Heroic Humans, like people from Newmarket or from wherever local town I was going to be in, just to be able to tell their stories. And then I actually was partnered with a life coach who's a friend of mine, Andrea, from Ambitious Soul Life Coaching, and she did a little bit of a group coaching session with everyone in the audience.
Wow.
And I gave like a little bit of a talk and my story of how I came up with Heroic Humans. Everyone's probably heard this a million times now. But yeah, and there were people in the audience crying and laughing, and you could just feel that it was a good energy around. Yeah, it was really nice.
So what do you have planned for like the next few workshops? What's next for Heroic Humans? Like, where do you see this going?
Yeah, so what's next? I mean, that's such a crazy question. Oh my gosh.
And it's always crazy to look at like the future, right, of something that you built, because who knows what it can be and turn into.
Yes.
But if you were to foresee like I already know you mentioned your dream would be having like a big stadium or something, like a big event where hundreds of people come out. But what else? Like, what else are your big goals with that?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want Heroic Humans to be like one of those household names that everybody knows about.
Yeah.
Like, Dana, that's never gonna happen. No, but I mean, there's some side things that I'm trying to do to create more of like the brand and the culture, and really just get people aware of what I'm up to. And those things are like, I'm interested in doing a podcast, interested in doing more like video interviews with my Heroic Humans and stuff like that. And I'm also doing right now I have a Heroic Humans merchandise, like apparel line, which is pretty neat, just to kind of get people in the gear, wearing it, loving it, representing it, and having a broader reach with that type of thing. Yeah.
Who's a Heroic Human in your life? I'm curious to know.
I
don't know if you got that question before, but I can think of my Heroic Human. What's yours?
Yeah, I think mine would be my mom, to be totally honest. And everyone's going to say, whatever, Dana, but really, she, from day one, has taught me that I can do anything that I want to do and make up any of the rules I want and come up with whatever will work for me, and to cross any boundaries and dream as big as I want to dream, and to work as hard as I need to work to be able to be happy and proud of what I create. So she's definitely, I tell her all the time, this Heroic Humans is dedicated to you. You're the original Heroic Human. So she's very inspiring to me, just to be able to create the life that works for you, because different things work for different people, right?
Yeah.
And different lives and different careers and hobbies, and I mean, we're all different, we're all very similar, but different things work for different people. And she's just really been able to coach me and teach me that we all have a choice to be able to do what we want to do and live the lives we want to live, right? So that's very inspiring to me and very helpful when I'm trying to create something like this, because it caters to so many different kinds of people. Who's your hero
Incredible.
human?
You're gonna laugh, but it's actually my mom too. And so, like, as you were saying that, I felt myself, like, somewhat kind of getting emotional because, like, she's the first person that I think of. And a lot of the same reasons where it's, like, my mom is somebody who's so selfless. Like, she's always just been so unconditional for everyone in her life. And if I can even strive to be close to that kind of person, it'd be absolutely amazing. She's gone through a lot, personally, emotionally, and just to see her consistently, like, showing up as a strong person, you know, not letting it shake her attitude, continuing to, like, be this rock, and like, also tell us, like, you can do anything you want to do. It's helped me be the person I am today. And she's definitely, like, heroic in my eyes. And,
oh my gosh. And that's the beauty of it too, is that's, like, we think we tell the people who matter most to us how much they matter, because we think that we do. Because we say, love you, goodbye, or, you know, oh my God, we think that we do that enough. But it's not enough, because life is so short, and why wouldn't we keep telling that person that we love so much, and that person who changes our lives so much, the impact they have on us? If we all just told the people who mattered to us most why they matter, and that we see them for what they do, and that we hear them, and that we love them, I think life would be completely different.
I totally agree. I think it's so important to acknowledge people in our lives who are making a difference or who have helped us in our journey, because it's so true. Like, without that acknowledgement, they might never know.
Exactly. Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yes. And something I've been starting to do, there's actually also on Heroic Humans, on our, like, online store, you can buy Heroic Humans postcards to be able to send to your heroic human. And it's kind of like
amazing. I love that.
It's kind of like the beauty of, like, snail mail, getting something in the mail, a handwritten note or letter. But it's also just acknowledging someone who you want to acknowledge, and getting that in the mail. I mean, that could completely change someone's day, month, year, whatever. I always say that, you know, if there's, can you imagine working in a corporate setting and sitting at the same cubicle desk every single day, and people passing you by 24/7, and someone came up to you and said, hey, listen, you absolutely matter here, and you make a difference, and we see you, and we couldn't run this place without you. You know, that person would walk differently and talk differently, and they would live their lives completely differently if they were just seen for the human that they are. And to strip those walls down of, you know, I'm here as an employee, or I'm here, whatever you're here as, I'm here as a mom, a daughter, like, we all have this identity of who we're supposed to be acting as and being, and underneath all of that, underneath our roles that we've either given ourselves or society has given us, we're all so similar, and we all really just want the same things. So to be able to strip all those away and, like, deal with and talk about and celebrate what's going on the inside, it feels so good. And having that raw conversation with someone where you say, this is what I love so much about you, and this is what about you is special and unique, and, like, this is what you have to offer, and this is what I see in you. And that person reciprocates that and gives that back to you, it's the best feeling in the world. It feels so good to have that connection with someone.
I agree. I feel like single-handedly, like, acknowledgement could change the world.
Right? Like, I love that line. I need to remember that. No, but 100%. 100%. To just acknowledge people. Big part of Heroic Humans on a daily basis is other humans acknowledging other humans, and having it facilitated through Heroic Humans as a space to kind of create those types of connections. So there is a spot on the website that people can write in and acknowledge their heroic human, or either tell a story about someone who they know, don't know, or even acknowledge themselves. Say, hey, listen, this is what I'm up to. It's really, really cool, and I really want people to know about it. And then I later post all those things. So that's kind of where the content comes from, is really just people celebrating other people, which is so cool.
So with Heroic Humans, is it just you who's kind of the person behind it, or do you have anyone else, like ambassadors, to help you get the message across?
So I run it by myself, but a way that I have chosen to get the message out there and reach communities that I necessarily can't reach myself, because I only know the people that I know, go to the same, job, school, friends, etc. So to help get the message out there, I'm bringing on a team of ambassadors who I find who stand as heroic humans in their communities and in their daily lives. So right now I have 2 LGBTQ ambassadors, and I have 1 environmental, and I hope to grow that team to an unlimited number of humans who represent different things in all of us, and who can reach different communities. And so the goal is to, like I said, was talking about the conferences and stuff like that. If you're someone sitting in the audience and myself and the ambassadors are on stage telling our stories, there's someone up there who you can relate to, and who you could maybe, whether it's you want to have a coffee with that person, whether it's you need some resources, whether it's just made your day to know that someone else has felt the same way that you felt at some point in your life. To be able to have a team who represents all those things and all these unique features that we all have. So, 3 ambassadors and growing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
So where can people find you? Where can they contact you if they want to share their story? And what are some of your outlets that people can reach you at?
Yeah, so people can reach me at our Heroic Humans handle is The Heroic Humans on Instagram. Facebook, our website. Our website is updated every Monday, mostly for, there's I don't want to say a bigger feature, but something with more of a story to it. The person being featured usually like writes in and has a little bit longer of like a call of action, I would say, to like support this person and etc. So there's a bigger feature every Monday, and then throughout the week there's more of what I would call community-based features. So it's people writing in to acknowledge other people. Yeah, and I mean our workshops, I'm going to be working on them and planning some for the future, but it's really fun. Yeah.
Awesome. What advice would you give somebody who has this calling towards doing something, or felt like for you it was, I want to do this thing, I want to start Heroic Humans? What would your advice be to just go after it?
You know what? I think I was actually talking to a friend of mine yesterday, no joke, and she was saying to me, I have this great idea, and before I start it, I have to plan it out and get all this stuff settled and really find out what my mission is, etc. And I said, you know what? The only piece of advice I have is to just do it. Is to just do it tomorrow. And whether that is like buy your domain or write it down or whatever that step is for you that you feel comfortable sitting in, get out of that. Because if we're comfortable sitting in something, we're not growing from there.
Yeah.
And when I started Heroic Humans, I 3 minutes later, I was like, oh my God, what have I done? Oh my God, what am I going to do?
It's always that doubt right after. You're like, yes. And then how's it going to go from here?
I was
like, figure it out.
Oh my gosh, why did I just do that? Oh my God, I shouldn't have done that. What am I doing? Not kidding. And if I didn't just do it right in that second, the most terrifying thing ever, I mean, I wouldn't be here. And we all make mistakes. We're all growing. I always, I find that if we can just ask for people for help and ask for support, most people will give it to you. Say, just go for it.
Piece of advice.
What's the worst that's going to happen?
Exactly. And once you go for it, it's like no excuse after that. Like you said, it's like that's it. It's happening.
I tried it. Yeah, and like I said, so many people will support you if you just put it out there that you're welcoming it. Because it's oftentimes too that you feel like you can do it all on your own, which some people can do it all on their own. And that's great too, but it's also not a bad thing or a weak thing to ask for help and to ask for support, right? Because we all need that.
I want to thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
It was such a lovely conversation.
That was so fun.
It's been such a pleasure, and I can't wait to see what's next with Heroic Humans.
Yay!
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, bye guys. Thanks for watching.